Welcome to Eye on the Tigers News. After a week off, we're back, and we're happy you decided to join us. I'm Kennedy Lamb.
And I'm Jacob Frazier with the news we've been following for you. A Somali Al-Qaeda affiliate's call for attacks on shopping centers in Western countries singled out one American mall in particular, the Mall of America in Bloomington, Minnesota. The largest mall in the U.S. has responded by taking, quote, extra security precautions, some visible to guests and others that are not, end quote, a security official there told CBS News. The official said they will continue to work closely with the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security, and that they will, quote, remain diligent as they would do in any similar situation, end quote.
The Motion Picture Academy honored the best movies and performances of the past year with the Oscars last night. Birdman won for Best Picture, while Julianne Moore won Best Actress. Eddie Redmayne, who tackled the real-life role of physicist Stephen Hawking in The Theory of Everything, won Best Actor. Here's a recap.
The Oscar results are in, and Birdman was the big winner, walking away with 4 of the night's awards, including Best Picture and Best Director for Alejandro G. Inarritu. The flick, which stars Michael Keaton as an aging actor unable to move on from his past role as a superhero, also won Best Original Screenplay and Best Cinematography. Keaton was pipped to the post for the Best Actor trophy, however. That went to Eddie Redmayne for his performance as Stephen Hawking in The Theory of Everything. Julianne Moore took home the Best Actress gong for Still Alice, while J.K. Simmons and Patricia Arquette walked away with the Supporting Acting Awards for Whiplash and Boyhood, respectively. In a surprise move, the Supporting Actress prize was the only one Boyhood managed to pick up, despite a heat of nominations and being 12 years in the making. Similarly snubbed was The Imitation Game, which tells the story of wartime codebreaker Alan Turing. Despite 8 nominations, it only won Best Adapted Screenplay. Big Hero 6 managed to pip How to Train Your Dragon 2 to take home the win in the Best Animated Feature category, while The Grand Budapest Hotel won Best Costume Design, Best Makeup and Hair, Best Original Score and Best Production Design. Chris Nolan's Interstellar won Best Visual Effects. For the full list of nominees and winners, check out IGN.com.
YouTube star Mark Edward Fishbach, known online as gamer comedian Markiplier, just raised over $74,500 in 18 hours by broadcasting himself playing Super Mario World non-stop. Fishbach launched the crowdfunding campaign to benefit the Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance. Fans reacted by flooding social media with memes and encouragement. Twitter now has around 14,600 posts with the hashtag Markiplier, and Tumblr is awash with fan art.
Visiting Mickey and Minnie just got more expensive. The Walt Disney Company raised ticket prices to attend Disneyland, Walt Disney World, and the rest of its U.S. theme parks effective Sunday. A one-day ticket for either Disneyland or California Adventure in Anaheim, California is now $99 for anyone 10 or older, the company said. That's up from $96. Single-day tickets for the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World in Lake Buena Vista, Florida, are now $105, up from $99. Disney has continued to see strong attendance growth at its theme parks and resorts.
Speaking of higher gas prices, the average price at the pumps in central New York rose 13 cents in the past 7 days and 23 cents this month. Analysts point to a change over to more expensive summer blend among the factors. They also point that prices will continue to rise.
What an absolutely brutal week of weather. Let's bring in Andrea for a look at our weather for the upcoming week.
This month will close with record cold. February 2015 will go down as the coldest month since 1909, when records began to be kept. And the temperatures today are adding to that record. We'll only see a high of 6 degrees despite some peaks of sun. Tuesday will be a little better, with some temperatures rising to the low 20s before Wednesday, when temperatures will retreat to the teens again. Snow showers later in the day are expected as well. The cold will continue later in the week. There are some signs looking long range with some weather models that we could see some warming temperatures coming next week, something we'll have to keep a watch on.
State championships are set for this coming weekend, and Mexico athletes will be well represented. Here's Shannon with a look.
Over the break, the wrestling team won its second Section 3 championship this season, claiming the Division II Interclass title. Champions for the Tigers were Theo Powers at 113, Austin Whitney at 145, and Trevor Allard at 170. Runners-up were Austin O'Reilly at 106, Hunter Holland at 120, and Jake Wilson at 182. Third was Jake Hisselstein, and fifth was Mitchell Shambo. O'Reilly, Powers, Whitney, Allard, and Wilson all qualified for the state tournament in Albany this coming weekend. We'll have more on the state championships later this week on Eye of the Tigers News. Junior Noah Galuzzo will make his second trip to the state diving championships this weekend in Ithaca. Galuzzo has dominated the diving meets in Section 3 this season, setting several records. We'll have more about Noah later this week as well. Joey Logano had a shot to win the NASCAR championship last year. A flawed late pit stop cost him the chance, and he went into the offseason determined to get back into the contention again. A win in the season-opening Daytona 500 on Sunday gave Logano the head start he wanted. His victory earned him an automatic berth into the chase for the Sprint Cup championship and put him at the front of the field after a week dominated by the biggest names in NASCAR.
From Daytona, Jeff Gordon, his 23rd and final. And with his family and saying so long. Remember, he'll race this season, but this is the wind-up to his career and total dominance. He led the first lap and led the most laps. Ironically, the last 8 times that Jeff Gordon has led the most laps, he has not won the race. But here's the move from Joey Logano.
And that was early in the going, and it just proved that Joey was going to do whatever it took to get that Ford to the front. He made some brilliant moves in the pack.
Tough break for Tony Stewart on lap 41. Loose, Ryan Blaney, Kenseth, Michael Waltrip were caught up in that. Carl Edwards causing a little dirty air, so 0 for 17 in his career. Meanwhile, the pit strategy and a pit problem over the wall early for the 48 team.
Chris, I believe what got them in trouble, there is not an imaginary wall. You see the empty space behind the 48, and the crew was just in there. They went over too early.
Brad Keselowski having some engine problems. He was third in this race last year in a Ford, teammate of Joey Logano. So Jimmy Johnson takes the lead back. And then here comes Joey Logano again. Kevin Harvick in the mix as well.
Just look at this power move. You talked about Clint Boyer. Joey talked about how well he pushed him. Clint gives him a shove. And that's something you didn't see many people do, clear the front of the pack.
3 laps to go. At the scheduled distance, Justin Allgaier brings out a caution. And so Logano says, wait a minute. Did I have it wrapped up? He had to go to the green-white checker to wrap it up, but held off the field. And great to have him live with us. I
was taking a picture, said Logano win Daytona 500. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
A busy calendar this week for sure. Here's Nathaniel.
Here's a look at what's coming up on the calendar. Semi-formal tickets for this Friday's dance will be available until Thursday, February 26th at 3 p.m. from any French Club member. Please plan accordingly and buy your tickets as soon as possible. These tickets will be on sale before school, after school, and during all lunches. There will be no ticket sales on Friday during school or at the door. Variety show auditions begin today. Interested students should sign up with Mrs. Bush in room 112. Lacrosse players interested in volunteering at the Tip Hill Run March 7th, sign up inside Coach Passer's room by Wednesday. If you are planning on trying out for JV or varsity baseball, there will be a mandatory preseason meeting on Wednesday, the 25th, at 2:30 in the gym area. You will sign up with Coach Meyer or Coach Rettmeyer at this meeting. Every softball player trying out for softball this spring must attend a mandatory short contract meeting this Thursday after school at 2:20 in Coach Mack's room. Attention all seniors, the deadline for completing your DFS applications is February 28th. Please make sure you have all recommendations submitted as well. If you have any questions, please see your counselor. All applications must be 100% complete in order to be considered for any DFS scholarships this year. Attention all members of the Junior Prom Committee. The next meeting for the Prom Committee will take place on Wednesday, March 4th at 2:15 in Madame Harder's room. The Junior versus Senior Boys Volleyball game will be on March 4th at 6 in the high school gymnasium. The winner of the match will then go on to play a group of teachers in the second match of that evening.
If you still want to sign up, please see Miss Dady. Otherwise, let the practice begin.
And with a look at this day in history, here's Alyssa.
On this day in 1836, the siege of the Alamo began in San Antonio, Texas. In 1945, U.S. Marines on Iwo Jima captured Mount Suribachi and raised the American flag. The moment was captured in a Pulitzer Prize-winning photo by AP photographer Joe Rosenthal. In 1861, President-elect Abraham Lincoln arrived secretly in Washington to take office after an assassination plot was foiled in Baltimore. In 1954, the first mass inculcation of children against polio with the Salk vaccine began in Pittsburgh. In 1991, President George H.W. Bush announced that the Allied ground offensive against Iraq forces had begun that would be known as the Persian Gulf War. In 1997, scientists in Scotland announced that they had cloned an adult mammal producing a lamb named Dolly. And 4 years ago, the Obama administration said it would no longer defend the constitutionality of the Defense of Marriage Act, a federal law banning recognition of same-sex marriage.
That's all for us today. I'm Jacob Frazier.
And I'm Kennedy Lamb. Have a great day.